Jennifer joins us in Portland, Oregon. Jennifer, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hello. So my issue is we have a 2013 Dodge Journey with over 140,000 miles, and it has a lot of issues, but it's still running. And my husband wants to trade it in for a newer vehicle with less issues. And I don't see the benefit of that because it's still working and running. And I don't want to go further into debt because we're still on baby step 2.
Okay. What kind of debt are you guys paying off right now?
We have one credit card, a couple of doctor bills, and the biggest thing is his student loans.
How much debt total?
A little over 42,000.
And what's your household income?
Right now, it just bumped up to 70,000.
Okay.
And I'm hoping to start work now that our kids are back in full-time school.
Okay, so that will bring the income up.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. So trading in the car and the issues, that's one thing. But what I would do if I was in your shoes is just start a sinking fund for a car you can pay in cash for. Is he wanting to go into debt for a car?
Yeah, he wants to get like a $20,000 vehicle, and I just don't see the benefit of that. I mean, yes, it's newer, but we're still getting a used vehicle with possibly more issues.
What's his logic of getting a $20,000 vehicle?
I honestly don't know. He thinks that since it'll be newer, there'll be less issues.
So he's sick of the problems on the Dodge, and he's gone, man, I don't want to deal with any more issues. If we get an expensive car, there'll be less issues.
Yeah.
Has he been on board with you?
His biggest fear is that at 170,000, supposedly, miles, basically is like the time tick.
Okay, that's 30,000 miles away.
Yeah.
So can you not save up for a year or two in a sinking fund and get out of this debt and then get a car with cash?
I think we could if we really stuck our nose to the grindstone and did that.
But he's not on board. Is he on board with the baby steps in general? Because it sounds like there's some disagreement here.
Oh, yes. He's totally on board with it. And we're actually hosting a Financial Peace University class starting next week.
Wow.
Well, okay, so Jennifer,
yeah, I think once this class starts, he'll realize his error.
Hopefully, but here's what I think you've got to do. Because he's on board, can I suggest that you cast a little vision?
Mm-hmm.
So when somebody casts vision, right, their vision casting by definition is about showing a better future, right? This is the future we're headed to.
Yeah.
And I think he's on board with the baby steps, but the vision he's having a hard time with is we got to have a more dependable car. And he's starting to go, oh boy, we've got a law of diminishing returns here, so I'm going to try to change up the baby steps and do it my way. What you got to do is, instead of debating him on that, I think you got to cast vision to say, hey, before this thing hits the 170,000 mile, like don't try to change the terms with him. Stay in his narrative and go, here's a plan on paper with my new job, because I'm going to be able to go back full time with that increased income. We can replace this car, like George is saying, while still moving forward on the baby steps. He's on board with that. I just think you got to show him literally how you get there. Yeah. That would be my approach, because then there's no disagreement. There's no trying to, knock his logic down. It's just like, okay, I get it. We have 30,000 miles before you think, man, we've hit the law of diminishing returns on this car. Here's how we cash flow and replace this car and don't go backwards. I think that's the vision.
Okay, I can do that.
I know you can. Like I can hear you got a little juice, don't you? You're like, oh, no, that's a different ballgame. And so I think that's what you do.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right, now listen. You got to put a little sugar and spice on that, okay? Once you show him the plan, then you got to go, come on, baby, please, maybe make his favorite dessert. Please do this for me. I'm locked arms with you. My income's going up. We can do this.
And we can if we just stick our nose to the grindstone.
All right.
I love it. All we got to do here is make that sinking fund happen, because we know the car's not going to be an emergency when it goes out. We know it's on its way out in a few years, but not tomorrow.
No.
So start saving up on the side for this. You don't have to stop the debt-free journey. Once you get some income coming in, you can get rid of this debt in a year with your income. If you're living on half of what you make, you can do this thing. That's $42K, the credit card, the medical debt, the student loan. It's not going to be in your life a year from now, and then you can start dreaming about that $20,000 car and save up and pay cash for it. But especially if you're going to lead Financial Peace University, for the love, do not get a car payment while you're leading Financial Peace University. That feels icky, Ken. I don't like that one bit.
Yeah. It's definitely a conflict.
Conflict of interest.
You know what's funny though, George? It's like just because you level up $10,000 or $15,000 doesn't mean that cars are going to have problems.
Oh yeah, plenty of $20,000 cars with $20,000 type repairs here. It gets very expensive very quickly.
Yeah.